Hi folks, today I've got a Technics ST-SA tuner that belongs to a friend of mine. He brought it to me because the display is that it's a vacuum fluorescent, and he brought a donor unit to pull the display from. But after working with that carver that had a vacuum fluorescent that was also not working, and buying an integrated circuit that didn't need it, I wanted to take some time to go through this before I simply just changed out the display. He has a paper copy of the manual, something I'm not used to seeing, but that's certainly nice. And we're going to go through this and check a few things out, and it could be that the display is indeed bad, but I just want to verify that before I do anything else. So let's dig in and see what we find. I'm clipped on at both ends of the vacuum fluorescent display here and over here. And I got the meter set to measure AC volts. And when I turn the tuner on, I get nothing here. Now let me just glance here. Yeah, I do have a display that the power is on, but we have no AC voltage, just a few millivolts. So just in case it's running DC volts, I'm going to change the range on the meter. And it takes a moment, so I'm going to pause this. As you can see, we have nothing here. So we need to figure out why our filament isn't getting any voltage. And I think when we figure that out, we will get a display. If you look at the schematic here, I trace the filament wires back. One of them goes to 20, which is a tap on the transformer, which puts out 3.2 volts. The other one goes to 31, which loops through the power switch and comes off the other side of that coil. But in addition, terminal 19 here ties over here to Zener diode 709 and capacitor C709. If you take a look down here, C709, it's looking kind of nasty. It's not measuring short, but I'm going to change it out, which is going to be a real joy because that means I have to pull the entire board and flip it up to be able to get to it. So I'm going to turn the camera off because there's going to be a lot of cussing, a lot of fighting, and a lot of who knows what. But I have to change that out. I don't think it's our problem, but I've been burned enough by thinking that before that whenever I see a problem, I address it. This is a 10 microfarad capacitor. As you can see, it's reading closer to 20 microfarads with 18 ohms of ESR. Not terrible considering how physically leaky it was leaking electrolyte is. But I want you to take a look at this. On the Simpson, you can see that capacitor is not good. In addition, looking at the bottom of the board here, you can see where the electrolyte, or maybe just the short, had eaten the trace up. So I soldered a wire over that, replaced the capacitor, cleaned up the electrolyte, and now I'm going to see if we have voltage and or display. The electrolyte from the failed capacitor had eaten some wires that go from terminal 19 on the board here to 30 on the switch. It had also eaten one of the leads that went from capacitor C709 to diode D709. So I put some jumper wires in the bottom there, and now when we turn it on, our display works. So there was no need to harvest one from an otherwise good unit. This was just another case where we suspected display, but that wasn't the problem. Anyhow, I'm going to put this all back together and make sure it works as a tuner, and I didn't break anything doing this. All right, so the tuner does work, but I am seeing some problems here. I only get reception with the muting off.
Awkward the jokes I was just throwing.
And I don't see a stereo indication or a quartz lock. Now I do see the quartz lock flicker sometimes when I'm tuning. So you can see that. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but we're going to run this through an alignment and see if that clears up the problems. I have to defeat the muting to get anything at all out of here, and I think that's a problem as well. I don't know if all of these are related, but hopefully an alignment will clear up some of these or point us toward the problem. Before I go too far with this alignment, I want to check the course lock indicator in the indication that there is adjustment for muting, and I notice I get nothing with the muting engaged either on very strong stations. I'm not getting quartz lock. I'm not getting stereo. So I want to see what happens when I inject a signal for the quartz lock test. So in order to do that, I need to go set my generator, frequency 100.1 megahertz. I need FM at 100% modulation, so we go FM 75 kilohertz. That should give us 100% modulation. They say 400 hertz, 1 kilohertz is fine. And our amplitude, they say 6 dB, which on our generator is going to be 1 microvolt. I don't expect to see a whole lot on this tuner. The tuner is also set to 100.1. So let's see what that looks like. So interestingly, when you look at VR101 on the board, which is what we need to do for our quartz lock, it's marked muting. So I'm going to adjust very slightly our muting or quartz lock. Look at that. We just get quartz lock and we're feeding in a 1 microvolt signal. That is way down there in the basement. So I think touching up the quartz lock may straighten out our muting problem. Let me see here, I release muting, and it does not. Let me see if I have to adjust that with the muting on. There's no muting threshold, and that I find that troubling. But again, I didn't see a muting adjustment. This says muting. I'm going to increase the signal to 3 microvolts and see if we get anything here. No. There may be a problem with the muting circuit, and I'm going to take a closer look at that. But if we disengage muting, that's a very strong indication here, very strong signal because I have it connected to the speakers. And as I adjust our quartz lock again, we'll go down to 1 microvolt. Yeah, that's just very interesting. That stronger signal actually makes it worse. I had wanted to do just a quick test of the multiplex pilot VCO adjustment, and they have you connect to test point 302, which is a little rough to find, but I found it, and it says you want to adjust VR301 to 19 kilohertz plus or minus 30 hertz. And if we look, our counter is 18.8. It's normal for it to wander like that when it's not locked to a signal. You put in a signal with no modulation. So I think that's okay. I'm going to go back and look at the discriminator and see what that looks like. For whatever reason, I'm not getting good results with my benchtop meter I can use to put an on-screen display, so I had to use my Fluke for this. But they want us to put under a no signal condition, they want us to connect a meter through 2, I think 100 millihenry chokes, which I don't have. But I was able to get a good indication just using my Fluke with no chokes. For whatever reason, my benchtop meter, this is now reading 0.6, 0.7. My benchtop meter read about 0.8. I mean, -2. In any event, they want us to connect our VTVM to test point 101 and 102 and adjust the discriminator T102 for 0 volts. So that is this guy back here. And if I adjust this down to 0 volts, Of course, I'm turning it the wrong way here, but that looks pretty good. And now, if I just turn on my modulation in FM, I have quartz lock, and I had to, oh, I need to turn on external FM to get stereo. And that, if you can see back in here, is giving us our stereo indication now. So still not sure what's going on with the muting. Well, the muting's off right now. I have a strong signal going in. So I'm going to take a look at a few of these things, but I think this is okay now. Got the scope on screen now, and you can see if I cycle through, I have the FM off. Now I have mono. Right equals minus left, and you can see they're now out of phase. Right only, left only. So our stereo is working now. I think our muting is okay. I'm going to hook an antenna up and see if the operation looks any better. So I think our adjustments have yielded some results here. I have the muting on, and I'm going to start tuning in some stations.
Animals in weird spots on your body.
We have stereo, we have quartz lock, we have muting. This is a really sensitive tune. I was putting in 1 microvolt and hearing it. That's pretty much unheard of.
You grew up.
There's some strong stations down here. That one's not stereo in my area. Let's see here. Okay.
Offices West Park.
Okay, so we're getting quite a few stations, getting them in stereo. Things working well.
Yeah.
Quartz lock, muting. And most importantly, we have a display. So I'm going to stop here, and I want to talk a little bit about vacuum fluorescent displays, how to troubleshoot them, and what their failure modes have been in my experience. The tuner seems to be working well now, but before I end this video, I want to talk a little bit about vacuum fluorescent displays, because that was the original complaint for this unit. They are a form of vacuum tube, essentially. And I found an excellent write-up at a website, I believe, called edusapedia.org. I will try to paste the link in my description here, but it gives the idea and the fundamentals, and I'm just going to show you a brief piece of it here. And it gives the description of vacuum fluorescent display fundamentals and how they work. So the problem with this one was that there was 0 voltage going to the filament, and like a vacuum tube, you need a filament to excite the electrons and have them strike the plate. They have a control grid. They're very much like a vacuum tube, so you need to think about them like that and check your voltages, because these displays, and I'm going to turn this off because I'm in and out of the frame here, I'm sure. The failure modes on these are usually not suddenly dead. Like General Douglas MacArthur famously said about old soldiers. He said old soldiers never die, they just fade away. So too are these. You'll notice the displays dimming down. I found most of the time that when I get a unit that has no vacuum fluorescent display, there's another problem, just like with the Carver and just like with this. So you need to check and make sure you have voltages going to the vacuum fluorescent. Make sure you have your filament voltages. See if you have your control voltages. Just measure every pin, write it down, compare it to the schematic if you're fortunate enough to have one. But anyhow, I'm going to stop this video here. I thank everyone for watching as always, and I like giving back to the community that's given me so much. Thanks, everyone. Cut! Call him the stunt tech.